In 1985, a British museum directive concerning an ancient cuneiform tablet read, "Under no circumstances is this to be allowed out of storage, nor is its existence to be acknowledged in any public catalog. Extreme caution is urged regarding its contents." It had been lost for 61 years, a deliberate act of suppression by a man who had translated a single, terrifying line from it. A message for the generation that doesn't know it's the last one. The tablet, catalogued as BM910006, was initially found by assistant curator Sidney Smith in 1924. Its content so disturbed him that he falsified its catalog entry, ensuring it vanished into the labyrinthine museum archives. Smith's act of intentional misfiling concealed the ancient message for decades, a true academic mystery demanding answers even today. When rediscovered in 1985, internal museum notes explicitly urged extreme caution regarding BM910006's content. Over 40 years, 3 separate researchers were denied access. One academic paper detailing the tablet's preliminary findings was abruptly withdrawn within 6 weeks of publication, fueling suspicion of a continued institutional cover-up far beyond Smith himself. Why would such an artifact be systematically hidden? The answer lies in the sender, Enki, one of the 7 highest beings of the Sumerian Anunnaki Council. Known for shaping humanity and famously warning Ziusudra of the Great Flood, Enki frequently overrode the council to protect humanity, positioning him as a strategic guardian with a long-term agenda for human survival. Enki's tablet contained a final transmission, a message specifically for a future population identifiable by 7 distinct conditions. These markers, Enki stated, would be invisible to past generations, yet unmistakably clear to the intended recipients. This wasn't a vague prophecy, but a specific verification protocol designed to filter for a particular era. The first marker, a sky filled with moving lights that are not stars. Today, our skies are not only graced by conventional aircraft but by satellite constellations like Starlink, constantly shifting across the celestial dome. Drone light shows paint pictures in the air, while unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, draw global attention as a daily occurrence, fulfilling the prophecy. Marker 2. A voice reaching every household without physically traveling. This describes the ubiquitous presence of internet and wireless communication. Every home, vehicle, and pocket now holds devices broadcasting voices from across the globe, bringing information, entertainment, and propaganda directly to each individual, precisely matching Enki's ancient words. Marker 3 is stark, a global population exceeding 8 billion. In late 2022, humanity crossed this unprecedented threshold. Never before had our numbers been so vast, creating pressures on resources and ecosystems that past generations could scarcely imagine, making this marker an undeniable and precise identifier of our current era. Marker 4 warns of a respiratory sickness spreading through the breath. We have recently endured a global pandemic, a highly contagious airborne illness that highlighted the vulnerability of a hyperconnected world. Its rapid, respiratory transmission echoes Enki's specific description with chilling accuracy, proving the specificity of the ancient message. Marker 5 describes a war fought without armies physically touching. The rise of cyber warfare, drone combat, and disinformation campaigns perfectly encapsulates this. Nations now wage war through digital networks, proxy forces, and psychological operations, impacting economies and infrastructure without traditional troop deployments or direct battlefield confrontation. Marker 6 points to a counting machine capable of thought. This unequivocally describes artificial intelligence. From sophisticated algorithms to generative AI, machines now process information, learn, and even create in ways that mimic human cognition, blurring the lines of intelligence and fulfilling a criterion unimaginable to ancient peoples, but omnipresent to us. Finally, Marker 7 states, ancient divine figures speaking through ordinary people on screens. Social media and viral content regularly feature individuals claiming direct connection to ancient wisdom or channeling spiritual entities. These new prophets appear on every screen, echoing Enki's reference to Marker 2, delivering messages to millions, redefining prophecy itself. All 7 markers are met. With the markers identified, Enki's first instruction is to relearn the names. He describes entities working in the background. The Aneta, human-looking beings with institutional influence, guiding humanity toward council interests. This mechanism isn't a simple conspiracy, but a pervasive, ancient system of control operating through identifiable forces. Next are the Ijigashagal, artificial low-orbit observers monitoring human behavior in massive numbers. Our modern satellite surveillance networks and pervasive digital tracking systems are their literal manifestation. Every click, every movement, every transaction is recorded, creating a comprehensive, undeniable web of observation that shapes modern life under the guise of security and convenience. Finally, the Kurgalana, a unified media channel appearing as independent voices, sharing identical vocabulary to dismiss contradicting stories within 72 hours. This perfectly mirrors the modern news cycle, where diverse outlets often echo identical narratives, subtly shaping public opinion and quashing dissent through synchronized messaging and swift dismissal of alternative viewpoints. The 5th instruction warns of an astronomical alignment, a celestial event involving Jupiter, a star in Triangulum, and an unnamed 7th body, visible only in the northern hemisphere. Sumerian coordinates point to the late 2020s. Years prior are preparatory. The alignment triggers the operational phase of Enki's ancient warning system, marking a critical cosmic countdown. Crucially, the 3rd instruction provides 3 tests to filter false prophets or counsel counterintelligence. First, any voice contradicting the 7 markers is demonstrably false. Second, any voice offering rescue or salvation is also false, as Enki sent recognition, not rescue. Finally, any voice charging money for this knowledge is unequivocally false. The 4th instruction identifies the carriers. Enki preserved a specific genetic configuration, a memory of the maker, distributed across all races and social classes to prevent council elimination. These carriers often feel a lifelong misalignment, an unexplained attraction to this information, and moments of absolute, immediate certainty, with activation peaking in the current generation. The 6th instruction speaks of a hidden chamber, located near a mountain splitting a river into 3 branches. Possible locations include eastern Turkey, the Iranian highlands, northern Iraq, or the southern Caucasus. This chamber, found inside a cavern with still water, holds the key to humanity's future, protected by an ancient cryptographic mechanism. This chamber, opened by a specific sound sequence, contains the corrections. These vital documents reveal the names of the council members, their original policy regarding humanity, the conditions for termination of this policy, and the precise sequence of recognition actions required by carriers. It's a cosmic blueprint for our collective future, buried in the past. The 6th instruction details consent and refusal. The council rules via implied consent when the population accepts the 7 markers as normal. However, a carrier who recognizes these markers as such revokes this consent. This act of refusal is purely perceptual. It cannot be tracked by behavioral monitoring, offering an invisible yet potent form of resistance. Furthermore, carriers will instinctively recognize each other, forging an unseen network of conscious resistance. This recognition transcends language, culture, and social constructs, uniting those whose innate memory of the Maker has been activated. The implications are profound. A silent uprising of awareness, independent of visible organization, begins to form. The seventh instruction, the signature and closing, uses 7 unique cuneiform marks mirroring the 7 markers and 7 instructions. This glyph serves as Enki's ultimate seal of authenticity, an intricate validation code embedded within the very structure of the message. It reiterates the precision and deliberate nature of this extraordinary ancient transmission. The tablet concludes with a profound message. Enki will not return or provide salvation. The choice for humanity's future belongs entirely to humanity itself. The hidden chamber will only open when enough carriers approach, implying an aggregative, collective awakening is necessary. This places the immense burden of choice and action firmly on the shoulders of those who recognize the signs. What implications does this suppressed tablet hold for our future? If ancient wisdom so precisely predicted our present, what hidden truths about our past and potential future remain buried? The question isn't whether Enki's message is real, but what we, the recognized generation, will choose to do with this profound knowledge, now that it has finally surfaced.